Hello. Hey now.
Hey now. Hey now. Hey now.
Mm. Mm, 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 mm.
Mm, 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 mm. Literally, no one knows what we're talking about.
No. Someone has to know. It's got to be at least one person
Someone has to know.
who knows things.
I promoted next week's live super stream on my live stream. Of course, my birthday stream's next Saturday, so hopefully, Greg, you'll be available for that. That would be nice.
Yes, I will be, I think. Hopefully.
You think?
Yeah.
I see how it is. I don't actually know what time I'm going to do it. I don't know that I'm going to do it at the same time as I normally do it. But regardless, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when I'm going to do it. Just show up. Airpods Maximum. Hey. Bender builds Lego. Wait, is that Bender Tube? He's building Legos? He's got a Lego channel? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, I saw him on Friday Night Viper, and he said he had a new Lego channel. He just started it.
That's awesome.
I'm not into Legos, so I will not be watching, but
How dare you? But yeah.
Okay.
He said he was going to try for this episode to do, what was the name of that website we found, Greg, where they'll wrap like anything? What was the name of that website? We should gadget cast the Airpods Max. What was the name of that site? I went to look for it, but I couldn't remember the name of it.
Oh, Colorware?
Colorware, yeah. I wonder if they do. Would you colorware yours?
I'm sure they're gonna. I mean, they colorware AirPods and they colorware Beats. I mean, these are gonna be probably the most popular headphones, so I'm sure they're gonna do it.
I'm looking right now.
Would I get mine done? I don't know.
If we could do it in a gadget cast,
so expensive.
You buying so much stupid stuff for $18 million that for you to say something like that is insulting. Hush your mouth. Hush all. Look, they got the PS5 controller that you can customize. I'm surprised you didn't buy that.
Yeah.
Beat Studio, Quiet Comforts QC35 2s they have. So they don't have it up here yet.
See, the PS5 controller, even though it's overpriced, it is still somewhat reasonable. It's like $109. Like whenever they do like an Apple product, it's like $1,000.
But that's because you're buying it directly from that. You could just send yours, and I think it'd be cheaper. I think
I'd probably just buy it from them.
Yeah, if they do it, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's literally, I'm gonna get GadgetCast versions of them because why wouldn't I? I mean, for 2021.
Yeah, when the AirPods Max are in stock, they probably can't get their hands on any of them. So
yeah,
color wear them.
Well, they should. Yeah, that's true. They probably don't even have the ability to even test them out and figure out how to do it. And I don't know.
Apple should just release more colors, and then
100%.
Just release a purple color, and we won't have this problem.
Yep, 100%.
I gotta, we're in beforecast, so I could be a little bit more open with the audience. It's weird talking on a completely different set of headphones, and it's really throwing me off hearing my voice in these as opposed to the GadgetCast headphones.
Well, what's the difference?
I don't know. It's hard to say, and I think it's because I have the noise canceling on. I think I got to disable that. Hold on, let me put on the transparency mode. Now that's worse. Okay, I don't like that.
You don't like it with the noise canceling off?
Yeah, no. This is weird. Now I hear too much.
Oh, well, I don't understand. What's the problem? If Justine can do it, you can.
Now I can hear I can actually hear my voice being pumped in, but then I hear the voice being pumped in through the microphone again. So I'm like, it's.
So you got to do what I do. Like I can't hear my voice through my setup. I just can't because I'm doing Bluetooth so that we can record it, right? So, but with you could turn on your ambient, right?
Right,
and then not turn in other words, turn your USB volume down.
Right, but then
what?
I need to record your portion to sync it, so that wouldn't work.
Oh, is that how you've been doing it?
Mm-hmm. It's so easy.
So easy. I just thought you were like waiting and just figuring out. Yeah, all right, cool.
No, I got it. I got it perfect.
This is actually a really good point. Just get some GadgetCast stickers and put them on the side. Why not?
You should.
It's a good idea.
You should.
Might do that. I've noticed over a couple of videos and channels and live streams on across multiple channels that there's been a kind of a downturn. My live stream yesterday had kind of a downturn. Looks like today's a little bit down, and videos in general weren't doing great. But I have a couple of videos that I'm getting ready to release for the end of the year that I'm kind of excited about doing, which is weird because if you would have asked me 48 hours ago, I maybe had 1 or 2 videos that I was looking forward to. And then I got an idea for one like early yesterday that I'm going to shoot either today, probably today, that I'm kind of excited about because I know it's going to trigger a bunch of people, and that always makes me happy. And then the end of the year video, which I'm really excited about, and then a couple of other kind of out of nowhere, like all of them are going to be, they're more creative, so I'm a little bit happier with that, and I think they're going to be more interesting than just, I don't know, what I've been doing lately, I guess.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm doing the same thing, guys. So stick around.
Hey, as long as it works, man. You know, as long as it works.
I'm doing the same thing I did last week. So
yeah,
stay tuned for same shtick.
Yeah,
me.
Could be.
No. Maybe.
Maybe. In the last 2 months, very likely, actually.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, Apple just asking for all of your money at the end of the year.
Now they can't ask for any more of it, though. I mean, that's the
they can ask for it, but I don't know if they're going to get it. All right, let's go ahead and get ready to start this thing.
We're going to talk about it on the show, but they did manage to get one more thing out of me before the year ended. So,
all right, well,
we did it. Yeah, I don't think I like these headphones for podcasting. I think,
really
do it for today, but I'm going back to my Gadget Cast.
Wow,
it's calling as we see it.
Listen, Soundcore, that's a soundbite if I've ever heard one.
I mean, I love the AirPods Max, but like, I don't know. Can I turn this off? Hold on. Is there a way? Have I not figured it out? Hello. I guess noise canceling's better, but now I feel like someone could like sneak up on me and like just like
they probably could,
and I don't know if I like that kind of feeling right now.
They probably could.
I feel like there's a Gadget Cast saboteur like lurking around.
Kind of sus. Also today on the I just talked about this in the podcast. All right. Anyway, okay, let's do this.
Let's do it.
Is everything set up? You all good to go?
I'm good.
All right, here we go. Starting off Gadget Cast. I was going to say last one of the year, but that's not even true. Second to the last one of the year? Third to the last?
27th will be the last one.
I wonder what number. That's Super Show, baby. Super Show, last one of the year. Super Show. Next week, we'll promote that right after we get it.
How good we planned that. We didn't even plan it. But
didn't even plan it. Didn't even realize that was the thing. Let's make sure to promote that highly at the beginning of the podcast. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, record.
Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
3, 2, 1, 0, 0.
Hello, world, and welcome to the most exciting tech podcast out there, the Gadget Cast. My name is Gregor McFadden, joined always by my co-host, Travis MCP.
Space travel.
Nails it on the second to the last episode of the year, baby. We're having a good old time on Gadget Cast. Hope you're here having a great holiday season. This is the last Gadget Cast before Christmas, and then we have the Super Show, the Super Cast. And that'll be next week. And man, I'm excited about all of these things.
Yeah, we've been talking about the Supercast for so long. The fact that it might actually be a thing next week is very exciting. I'm very curious to see how the audiences digest this, because there's a lot of people on both our channels who are not GadgetCast listeners, and it's kind of like, why are you listening to GadgetCast? And you like talk about it in the video, but they're there for the video, and it's kind of hard to be like, well, are they actually going to go and check out GadgetCast? But now we're going to force them to. So we're really going to see, we might lose all of our subscribers, and then we'll be like, oh man, maybe GadgetCast isn't as good as we think it is.
Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe we siphon all of our views and subscribers here, and then our videos get no views from this point.
Yeah. And then we just take out Joe Rogan, and we're the best podcast.
Makes sense.
Could happen.
Absolutely could happen. Well, today we're going to talk about a couple things live on the YouTube live stream. I'm actually going to unwrap or unbox or whatever you want to call this fake loop thing for the Apple Watch. We'll tell the story behind that later. So that's going to be a on the air thing. It's kind of cool. Now, if you're here watching it on YouTube, you're going to get the visuals. But even if you're just listening to audio, you're going to hear my thoughts about that. We got the Galaxy S21 to talk about, and of course, whatever else Gadget Cast happens.
Talk about the AirPods Max, which I'm wearing on my head for the podcast, which is quite it's quite an experience.
So talk about that real quick because Viper also has a suggestion. And then remember last week I talked about there's someone who never replies to your comments. I believe they're here actually in the chat. As you can see that here, I came here because Greg never replies to my comments, which I talked about, I think, last week. I
reply to a ton of comments, so I don't know. I guess.
All right, so talk about the fact you're using the AirPods Max for Gadget Cast, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so every week, we have our Gadget Cast approved headphones on. I'm kind of breaking the code by not using them for this, but I wanted to test the AirPods Max out with the wire and use them in more of a professional setting, see how they work for that. Number one, this wire. This has got to be the biggest ripoff that Apple sells. Usually people there's like a lot of oh, Apple, this is a ripoff. This is a ripoff. This thing is the worst cable. It's $35 for an audio cable, which on its own is just ridiculous. It's lightning to 3.5 millimeter. From what I hear, it's one of the only ones that works with it. I don't know if there's some sort of technology that third parties can use. I assume there is, but it's so short, I can barely maneuver. If I move over a little bit more this way, the wire will pull out of the Roadcaster, and it's just really flimsy. The strange part is I've seen people who know more about audio than me say that this cable actually makes the sound quality on these better, despite how awful it is, despite how thin it is and how cheap it feels. Apparently having that physical connection actually boosts the audio in this. And it's funny, you can't use these passively. So if these ran out of battery, that would be it for them. I couldn't use them even wired.
That's terrible.
Yeah, but because they are using the battery, you still get access to all the noise cancellation and transparency stuff, which I'm using now, and it's a little bit weird. I find that when the noise cancellation is on, I'm too isolated. I feel like I'm not here in the surroundings. I feel like I'm in some weird virtual area, and I can just hear Travis. That's all I can hear. And myself. So, but then when I turn the transparency mode on, it's too much noise. I hear my voice twice. Viper in the chat is saying I can do the just regular mode where all that's turned off. I can't figure out in the settings in time through my Roadcaster, but I gotta set that up because it's weird. But yeah, other than that, I like the AirPods Max. Last week we were talking about them as a product because, we didn't have, or I didn't have it yet, but they just announced it. And now I've gotten a chance to listen to them. I've gotten a chance to use them. We're talking about can these actually be worth $550? And I still think it's going to be hard. You definitely have to be an iPhone user. If you're an Android user, these are a total skip, I think, because it's just too much money. They're still good, but you need that integration for these to be really worth it. I would get the XM4s or something like that. But in terms of sound quality, I think they're better than the XM4s. I did my side-by-side listening. The noise cancellation is excellent. The transparency mode, excellent. The integration with iOS. Auto switching now. Apple added that new feature with AirPods Pro. These have it now. So I go from my iPhone to my iPad and it just automatically switches. You don't have to do anything. It's a really premium and nice experience. So if you're totally in the Apple ecosystem, if you got $550 to spend and you really want to boost your audio quality beyond AirPods and Bluetooth, I think they're kind of worth it. But again, that's very subjective, right? $550, it's still a lot of money to spend on headphones.
Yeah, so Friday Night Viper had a discussion about this a couple days ago, and I jumped on real quick and gave my thoughts. And the one thing I think we talked about on GadgetCast last week, but certainly on Viper's stream, that is the one tipping point where I finally go, okay, for this, they're worth $550. So there's a lot of people say you have to take them as the overall thing, how they integrate with Apple and that sort of stuff. And okay, I guess. But like I said, the thing that kind of always undercuts that is the disingenuous things that Apple does sometimes, $700 wheels, $35 cheapy cables. When they do stuff like that, it's hard for me to take them seriously on other things. But if we remove those really ridiculously priced things and we look at it, we go, okay, these are really high-end headphones that maybe, in my opinion, are probably, no matter how good they sound, maybe $150 too high just because of the other quality products that are out there. Even if this is better than them, I doubt in my mind that they're $200 better than the XM4s. I think some people are saying that they're better, but I've yet to hear anyone say that they're $200 better. Having said that, the one thing that did kind of tip me over and go, well, you know what? In this particular case, I can see it being worth that, is for things like spatial audio. So if you're watching movies and TV shows and stuff like that on your iPad or iPhone, and you're using this now replaces like a home theater setup that you may not be able to use if you live in an apartment or something like that. Now, I've had surround sound on my TVs for years, so I'm used to it. I don't like just hearing the audio from the television. It doesn't sound any good. And I know that if I had to move into an apartment and I had to give that up, I would really miss it. So in that case, it actually is more than worth $550 because any type of really good sound bar or something like that would be a couple $100 anyway, plus headphones, plus all the things it does. At that point, you're getting actually a really good deal. So in that way, I can see it being worth that. And if they lean into that a little bit more in their marketing, I think they actually may win some critics over. But to your point, the real value comes in is if you're already in the Apple ecosystem. I don't know that this is the thing to tip you over, but you need to kind of commit to really get the value.
Yeah. I'm going to make a point here, and I don't think I've heard anyone else make this. I actually think long-term, these might end up being a better deal than something like the AirPods Pro. Again, they're pretty pricey, but I think they're pretty well reviewed for what they are. A lot of people like them. And I don't think there was as much outrage when the AirPods Pro pricing came out. I think that was pretty much in line with like the Sony earbuds that did noise cancellation. They were very competitively priced, where you really can't say that about the Maxes. But if you were to buy one product, which product is going to last longer? The dirty secret about AirPods is like they really only have like a good maximum life of about 3 years. If you're a heavy user, the battery just goes out on them. When the first AirPods came out, I actually bought a second pair because my battery was just trash after like 2.5 years of using them. Like they would last like an hour on the charge and it was bad. And you can't replace the batteries inside your AirPods. You have to get a new replacement. Same thing with AirPods Pro, even though mine haven't gone as fast, but I've not used them as much as when I first got original AirPods. With the AirPods Max, what's good is not only is the battery life longer, 20-hour battery, so naturally the battery is going to degrade better. Like you're not going to notice the drop-offs in a cup. If it loses 5 hours, you're really not even going to probably notice it. But you can also get the battery serviced, which you can't on the AirPods. It's like a $79 replacement fee. And if you think about it that way, and I'm sure you know this, good quality audio gear usually lasts like a lifetime. Like if you get a good pair of headphones, they sound good. Like it's really hard. Like audio is very well established in the way that other technologies aren't. Like TVs change every year and the next TV gets way better than the one before it. There's old headphones that still sound like amazing. There's old speakers that still sound amazing and kick the butt of what modern speakers are being released. It's a very different world where it's really hard to kind of improve audio. And if you're buying a $550 pair of AirPod Max, it might sound like, oh, that's really expensive. But if, the build quality on these, they seem really solid. It doesn't seem like something that's going to fall apart. It's made out of aluminum. Like they seem like they'll last forever. Maybe not the headband. That's like the one area where I'm concerned. But yeah, I feel like these could last for 10 years and maybe people will still be using them. Like they can get the battery replaced for $79 if that fails, but that really seems like the only part that would fail. And Apple actually offers a replacement for this where they don't do that with other products. So I actually think long-term wise, these are probably a better investment than something like AirPods, where I think really those really do have a pretty limited lifespan.
Yeah, it's a good point. The battery replacement deal, especially if you're using them on a daily basis, is actually a really, really good point. And other headphones, you don't really even get that option, quite frankly. Even like the XM3s or something like that, XM4s, I'm not aware of how after a couple of years you would get them the batteries replaced. I think you have to buy other ones. So, hey, I mean, that's That's another good point. If they continue that to service them in a couple of years, that's definitely a good point. So
Yeah.
AirPods Max, not for podcasting, but for everything else, apparently.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like them for podcasting. They feel fine. Like I was worried. Like I heard like they were heavy. Honestly, the weight is really well distributed. Like it doesn't feel like a heavy headphone. I actually have aluminum headphones over there from Master and Dynamics. Those do feel heavy. Like after a while, like your ears get fatigued. These ones I've been wearing for hours, and I'm completely fine with them. I really have to hand it to Apple, though. I think this is one of the reasons I like them so much. That little digital crown control.
Mm-hmm.
I think like there was rumors that they were trying to do touch controls, and one of the reasons why they couldn't get them out is because they didn't like the way the touch controls are working, and they decided to scrap those last minute. I think that was like the smart move. I think like don't even bother trying to make a second version with touch controls. This thing is very tactile. It's so easy to change the volume, and you never get like the accidental touches like you do when you have a headphone that just has like a touchpad here. Because there's times like you like brush against something and it registers it as a touch and it like pauses your music, and it's like I didn't want that to happen. Or if you're doing like this to like change the volume, like it's not like a great experience. So I actually like that they put the digital crown on here. I think control wise, it's really good.
Yeah. So AirPods Max is another week in, and we'll see what happens over time. If he has any other issues, I'm sure Greg will let you know about them. But of course, the official GadgetCast headphones, the QC10s, which I'm still sporting. We still need to figure out what we're going to do. Maybe on the hey, wait a minute, on the Supercast next week, we're supposed to do calls or something, huh? We need to figure this out. You and I need to have a call this week to figure out the details here.
Are we going to do calls on the Super Show?
I mean, we might. Where we call people, we need people to email us their numbers. Like we said, we were going to do that. Or are we going to do that on a different? No, we have to do it on that. That's pretty much when we have to do it.
I think so. Maybe like an after show thing.
Yeah.
Can we drop them the link and then talk to them? But I feel like a call would be cool. We should call.
Yeah, because we can Bluetooth in. Yeah, we can figure it out. So we need to figure that out.
Figure it out.
Yeah, and then the after. So I don't know. Next week is a bunch of unknowns. So my birthday live stream is next Saturday. Then Super Show. So that's a lot of live streaming. And we don't really have a format. So we don't really know what we're doing yet. We will have something by next week. I promise you.
I think it'll be a standard show, and then we'll do something at the end.
Something extra fun. Extra fun.
I don't know. Yeah, I think at the end we'll do something extra. We'll do like a regular show because we still have to show people what GadgetCast is all about.
Yes, 100%.
It can't be like a special episode where it's like we're going to call people the whole thing, and then people are like, "This is GadgetCast? This is weird. What is this?" So we'll do regular show, and then at the end we'll say, "Stick around. We're going to do something special." And we'll get a bunch of people on the phone, or we'll get you in the video call like we used to do. We'll do something. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll do that. We can do that.
And it'll be fun. I still want to call people, though. So I don't know. I got to figure that out.
Yeah. So that'll be your assignment for today, or for this week. Okay. Now, we have two things we're definitely 100% going to talk about before the end of the live stream. So I don't know exactly which we should do first. I'll let you pick. We can either talk about all the leaks of the Galaxy S21, or we can talk about the Apple Watch band that I have sitting here that I'm going to unquote box on live on this.
Let's save the Apple Watch thing for the end. Let's talk about the S21. I just want.
You're really liking that, huh?
Yeah. How many things could go wrong? So because you didn't know your size, right?
I guessed.
Okay.
Based on something that I seem to remember when I printed out the paper a month ago. I think it was a 9, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. And then I saw that thing you sent me. I'm like, well, I've already ordered it, so it's too late. But I'm gonna look at that. I'm gonna look at that webpage you sent me.
I'm mad because I thought mine was coming today, but it got pushed back to tomorrow. So I got the official one. I really want to see, like, is this gonna be as good? Any good? Because
I'm really, this could be the hack. This could be the hack. All right, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay.
Spoil.
For now, let's talk a little bit about the Galaxy S21, 21 Ultra, 21 Plus that are coming out here in under a month now. They're going to be announced. Apparently on January 14th.
Yes. Sorry, I totally interrupted you. We also talked about Mandalorian because we said we would last show. And now it's over. You watched it all. I watched it all.
We have to wait an extra day or two because we got to give grace. We're only 2 days away from when it aired, and some people haven't watched it yet. We are definitely going to talk about it in the Super Show, 100%. Because you know what? The one thing that I had a problem with in the second to the last episode, to me made the last episode slightly weaker.
And I know what it is.
Yeah, you know what it is.
I know what it is.
Yeah, if they had not done that, I think the last would have been even stronger to me. But it was great.
Stronger, even
stronger. Listen, they did a great job. And we'll definitely talk all about that. Yes, we will talk about
great.
It. Yeah. I can't wait to talk about that. So we'll talk about that next week. Okay. So the Galaxy S21, 21 Plus, 21 Ultra. I did a video the other day about this. Samsung is basically leaking some of this stuff. We kind of know this. The thing is, unlike the Apple leaks, where like John Prosser is getting some of this stuff, and then from different sources and such, like the actual press renders, which is crazy to me, leaked among other things from Samsung. There's a guy that has a YouTube channel, which I posted on my video with it, and is just posting videos every day and showing like all the different things he can do. This is on a level of just ridiculous. And the video I made yesterday, which is not a good video, it's not performing well, but it shouldn't anyway. It's not a good video. Basically was me going, I don't know what to do about this. First of all, it doesn't seem like many people are even that interested in the S21. I was very surprised people in the comments don't even seem like they're very interested in it. Number two, this is kind of frustrating. I mean, leaks are okay to a degree. This isn't even a leak. At this point, I'm frustrated. I'm like, just put the damn phone out now, because it feels very like, what's going on? Why are products that obviously millions and millions of dollars of R&D and stuff have been put into, and NDAs are signed, everything, ending up in some dude's hand on a YouTube channel with a couple hundred subscribers maybe, and it's just every day, boop, ba-doop, ba-doop, ba-doo, and begging on his Patreon to get people on his Patreon. Like, what is going on now? Where are we? Where is life? I am more interested in things like, the S21 FE or the hopefully Galaxy Note FE. I would love that. I'm kind of frustrated by this. What do you think about leaks in general? And then I'm not sure how much you've kept up on this, but like the fact that we know, I want to say everything except for the software and the price, and we have guesses on the price.
Yeah, I feel like with Samsung in particular, it has become such a joke, and I mean, a lot of these Android phones, honestly, they really do. All the details leak out beforehand. But Samsung, more and more every year, it's like it gets worse and worse to the point where you're like, now someone just already has the phone. They're uploading videos on it. Literally, like high quality press images are just posted everywhere. Like, we know how many cameras the thing is going to have. We know exactly what it looks like from every angle. Promo videos everywhere. So it really does take all the surprise out of it. And this isn't a problem that's unique to Samsung in a way. Like, even like with like Apple, right? Like we basically know like everything about the phone, like the day before it's released. But at least there's like some mystique, some mystery. Like you didn't really see like the final version of it. You didn't really see the final ad pitch of it with it. And it really does destroy a lot of the hype around these phones. So I don't know if that's good from a marketing standpoint. I guess it gets the phone out there and people's attention. Like, oh, here's the S21. We got coverage before the launch. But I feel like a lot of the hype is kind of gone to the point where, like, you're right. Like you asked me, am I keeping up with like the S21 stuff? And I kind of was trying to, but like the more it leaks, the more I just kind of like, okay, it's just another, it's another Galaxy. What are you going to do? Yeah, I don't know. It's I really do want to know how these people are getting like hands on with like the phone like way beforehand. Like, we've seen this with like other Android phones, but Samsung is like one of the most premium Android phones. Like, to get that before anyone else, what's going on there? And how can we be a part of it? Because I'll do it, Samsung. I'll make a video saying I got the S21.
100%. I'll do that.
Yeah,
and they're also apparently doing something that I predicted a long time ago. They're not going to ship with the power brick or the earbuds.
I love this.
Yep.
I love that they made fun of Apple. Like, what? When that was October, the launch. So what? Yeah. November, December.
Wasn't that long ago.
3 months later, we're going to take it out too. That's not a decision you make last minute. That is not a decision you made yesterday. That is years in the making. Like, hey, we're gonna not ship a power brick with these phones. And the fact that they knew this was coming and they still made fun of Apple, it's just like, what's the end game? I feel like customers get more upset when they think like you're on their side, like, hey, we're on your side, we're still shipping a power brick, and they go, thank you, Samsung, this is why I love you as a company. And then you go around and do this, and then you lose that loyalty. This is the same thing that happened when they said, we still have a headphone jack. There were so many people that got attached to Samsung going, you know what, they're so pro-consumer, they're keeping the headphone jack. And then next year they take it off, and there's anger. There's like, how could you do that? Like, we trusted you that you would still have this. And then people go looking for other brands that more align with their values. Even if those other brands took the headphone jack away, if they didn't make a big stink about it, like, it's kind of like a betrayal.
Yeah, and the thing is, this is actually, I think other companies look for permission to do things from Apple because they know if Apple does it, they can get away with it, which is crazy. Even though Apple is not the number one selling company of smartphones in the world, they tend to have the number one phone, but they're not like the number one selling company of phones. Still Samsung. They still look to them to do this, taking away the headphone jack. For a year or so there were notches on all the Android phones that had not existed until the iPhone had that. Now it looks like removing things from the power adapter to the headphones and stuff like that. Like, they look to them to, I don't know if it's to take the fall or so they can go, well, they did it, or if it's like, okay, well, we know that's going to be the new accepted standard, so let's go ahead and do it. Regardless of anything, Samsung could have done this a year or two ago, and they didn't. They didn't because Apple didn't do it, but they're doing it right after Apple. So you can't say that Samsung's not doing this because of Apple. They 1,000% are. 1,000% are. Now, does it make it right, wrong, and indifferent? I don't know. I mean, Apple says maybe genuinely it feels a little disingenuous for the whole green world. You know, they're saving. I mean, sure, they are saving the environment to a certain degree. I'm sure that was not the primary reason for doing this. But also you could argue that a lot of people have to end up buying some of these things anyway later. So they're not really saving anything except for a little bit of money on their end. Having said all that, it just feels icky, which is a weird thing to say, but it kind of feels icky to follow. So we knew they were going to do it. I predicted it. Like, the minute that I heard that Apple did this, I was like, and so will Samsung, and it won't take long. I said that, and I knew that was going to happen. But man, so quick. It's so transparent. They're not even worried about the backlash anymore. They're just going to do it. Just rip the Band-Aid off. I don't blame them.
The thing that will make people the most upset about all of this is when they see the stories that the iPhone 12 is like the best-selling iPhone in years. So you have all that like rage of like taking this product out of the box, and you think in your heart, like, okay, consumers are going to feel exactly the same way that I do. They're going to be so upset. They're not going to buy this phone. They're going to see what it is and just go, no, I'm not spending my money on that. I'm not going to support that. And then you see that it's selling well, and it just kind of like, man, all right. like it's like that feeling like, like people didn't care as much as you thought they did. And that seems to be the case with the iPhone 12. It's from all the sales reports I've seen in the, I think this was before the last episode, like, it's selling really well. And it's like a super cycle for them with like that 5G, which a lot of analysts said it would. And even I'm kind of surprised by that. I was almost like, do people like, is that really going to do it? Especially now, like this year. But it seems to be the case. So people really like that 5G, even though it's totally worthless.
Yeah, totally not doing anything of any kind of use. As a matter of fact, I just got back from a little mini one-day vacation where I had, quote, 5G signal, and my upload speed was less than half of a megabyte. Now, it said 5G in the top right-hand corner. It was less than half of a megabyte upload. So just because you see that symbol doesn't mean anything. I mean, that we've been saying this for a while, but I'm just letting you know it's not nothing. It's not nothing. So Samsung Galaxy S21, 21 Plus, 21 Ultra, more information to come soon. I may purchase one. I don't know.
I will say, yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards purchasing one because I was really on the Galaxy Fold. That's going to be my Samsung phone. And now that I've had the Fold, and I still have it, so I want to see if there's like a killer trade-in. I don't know if they'll do that, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm not in love with it like I thought I would be. And I kind of need to use like I need a Galaxy phone in my arsenal to like test out So I might go with the S21. I'm really compelled by, they got a lot of cameras on here. A lot. Like it's like 5 cameras, or is one of them a depth sensor? 4?
I don't even know. They got something's like 4 on the back and 2 on the front and 3 on the side, and I don't know.
They're doing like different like zoom ranges. Like I took like a photo of like this like bird today. Like I forget exactly what it was called, but like I was using my iPhone 12 mini and I didn't have a zoom lens. It would have been a way better picture if I had a zoom lens. But even then, like the iPhone zoom, it's pretty weak. Like it goes to like 2x, 2.5x. Like Samsung's got like different zoom ranges with this S21, and one of them is that 10x where they do like the ultra zoom to like 100. And then they also have like a 76 millimeter, it's saying, from like these leaks. So what, a 3x and a 10x. So that's a really versatile smartphone camera. Like I'm actually like that's actually pretty exciting to me. Like to get all those different cameras.
Yeah, it's going to be, listen, that's what they're going to hang their hat on. Because really, what can you talk about a smartphone anymore without mentioning cameras? Some people go, oh, you're just talking about what else is there? There's nothing else. That's it. That's a wrap. That's all it is. Actually, one of the videos I have coming up that I'm going to shoot and release hopefully this week or early next, whatever, is this idea. I'm taking a concept of something, I don't want to spoil it, and saying how powerful is a smartphone. And even one that's not even like brand new. Like I think we've passed the point of like super powerful smartphones a while ago and didn't realize it, because every year something new comes out, and we're at a point where they're so powerful now that we can't even see the difference most of the time. So hopefully I am successful in doing that. We'll see. I don't know. Fingers crossed. I'll let you know about it on the next Gadget Cast. We'll see. It's just crazy. But anyway, moving on from there. The other day I saw Greg tweet something about the Apple Watch loops. What are they called? Braided loop bands. And I've been wanting one since I saw them come out. And they're $100, which is ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
However, I know a couple of things about Apple. Number one, I know that their accessories are well overpriced, but they're really good quality. Case in point, this case that I have on my iPhone 12 Pro Max, this leather case, is stupid expensive. It's dumb expensive, but it is real quality. It is a really nice case. So I know that thing probably feels really good. I know it does. But I also know if I wait a little while, and I actually said this when those you couldn't get them, like they were sold out for a while. I know that at some point there's going to be some knockoffs, and that's actually what I was waiting for. But I wasn't aware of them yet. I had been waiting for them until Greg said, hey, he tweeted that he got them. And then I saw that Rene Ritchie had his, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and pay the $100. I'm just going to do it because I want one, right? Thankfully, Greg, look, I don't know why I didn't look. I had been looking for weeks and couldn't find any knockoffs. He found some knockoffs on the Amazon, and I have one here. And I'm going to unwrap it here live on GadgetCast and tell you my feelings. Now, the problem is I don't have a real one, so I can't tell you what it's like in comparison. Greg does, but his fake one hasn't come yet. So this is kind of a half-hearted attempt. However, I can tell you that this thing is $20 and looks the same. And that may be all I need. As long as it doesn't turn my wrist a different color and it feels okay and it looks the same and it's $20 versus $100, okay, that's good enough. That's all I care about. That's all I care about. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna open this thing.
Travis's wrist is gonna fall off by the end of the show. He's be like, "Oh no, I made a huge mistake. Do not buy that."
Now it doesn't come in any type of box. It's basically like a zip bag.
So I'll say this about the braided solo loop. It is extremely comfortable. So if that's the same comfort for $20, we might have found the biggest hack of all time.
All right, now this feels. I mean, it's stretchy, right? So you can see it's stretchy. Yeah. I actually thought it would feel different. So in the pictures, I couldn't tell that it was like a fabric. I assume that yours is the fabric, or does it feel more kind of like silicone-y?
Feels fabric-y to me. Okay. But it is it's made of like polyester, I think. So
okay, so this just feels like an actual like fabric. So it's good quality. This is $20. It feels good quality. It stretches. I have to get my actually, I don't even know that I got the right size. And just immediately by putting it around my wrist, I'm already questioning whether or not I got the right size.
Now it does. So I'll show you with mine. Like to take it off, I have to like pull it out like that. So
okay.
It stretch quite a bit.
I'm doing a smell test. I don't know. It smells like fabric. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't smell bad. It's stretchy. It feels like it's good quality. And I can't compare it to the iPhone one, or sorry, the Apple one. But I would say, based on the fact that this is like one of those kind of unusual ones, I bet 99% of the people who see this would think it's legit, because there's really nothing to kind of differentiate it, right? It's just like a braided thing. And it feels like it's going to last, but I don't know. That's the one thing I don't know. But one thing is nice is no matter what happens to this thing, it was only $20. It wasn't $100, right? Right. So we'll get you. All right. Simply Pops wants a link to that. We'll get you a link. I just got to find it. I'll put it into the chat. So I'm going to try it. I need to go get my Apple Watch and just try to put it on. Let me go do that. You go ahead and vamp for a little bit. Let me go ahead and do this.
Oh, no. Travis, I'm here by myself, so that's always a great thing to do. And this is actually an official recording, so I have to actually vamp and stuff. I'll just give you my impressions on the braided solo loop. I've been trying not to buy this thing for so long. I kept seeing it in like images every time I'd look at the Apple Watch, and I'm like, that band looks really nice. But I'm like, $100 it's a lot of money to spend on a band. But I broke down. I finally bought the official one. And I got to say, like, it's a really nice band. I hope this knockoff band is as good as this one, because then you could save some money with it. But this thing's like super comfortable. Like, it feels like nothing's on your wrist.
Well, the other thing is, the other thing is these colors are so good that, like you were talking about, one of the reasons that you bought this is because you saw the red one Renee Ritchie had on, and you wanted to get it, but you didn't want to spend $100.
Yeah, that's why I looked on Amazon. Like, I bought the legitimate one, I got the blue color, and I really liked it. But then I saw the red one on Renee. I'm like, ooh, that looks so nice. Let me see if there's like a knockoff one I can get for the red one, and then I can compare. Jose asked, what would I price it at? Like, for this one, honestly, if this was like $50, I'd go, okay, it's still expensive, but that's fair. $100 just seems like, whoa. Like, it's not even like leather. Like, you know, you can make that argument with leather. Like, maybe they sourced it from like some really rare place, but it's like, it's all synthetic material. Like, the build cost of this doesn't seem like it should be $100. But then again, I guess these bands didn't exist until Apple made them, and then knockoff companies were like, we'll make that.
Yeah, so I am taking off my magnetic knockoff band and now putting on my loop lock-off band. I think this is the way you do it. I have a blue case on my Apple Watch, Series 5. I think this is Series 5. So putting it on now, sliding it in. Wait, I keep forgetting which direction is the right direction. Which direction is the right direction to put this in?
Ethnic wants to know if the bands can work with next year's watch. I really don't know, but
probably.
Probably. There's like a pretty good chance. That would be the biggest Apple, like, that would be, forget taking the chargers out of the box, forget not including whatever, changing the cable. That would be the biggest diss. If they're just like, you know what, new connector, you can't use your old bands anymore.
Okay, a couple of things. Number one, I got the wrong size for sure. Number two,
oh no.
Now it could be. Now I have a 44 millimeter watch. This says 4244. Oh no, it doesn't. It says 3844. They sent me the wrong size. Ooh. So I was like, why does it look so thin compared to the rest of the watch? It looks like here. I'm going to show people on YouTube. It doesn't look right. Here, look.
But it still fits in it, I guess.
It fits in it.
Still there. That's funny.
So it's the wrong size. Did they send me the 9? I'll have to check to see that I make sure I actually ordered it right. I don't think they sent me the right size at all. At any rate, so it's very tight because it's the wrong size. If this was a 42 inch, it would 42 millimeter, then it would fit correctly. It's holding on fine. It stretches fine. It doesn't feel special. I will say this. This would have been a real disappointment to me if I got the Apple one and it feels anything like this. For $100, I would have been very disappointed because it looks super cool. But then when you put it on, it's kind of like, oh, it's just like a fabric dealie. So I'm a little disappointed, not so much in this, because for the price, for $20, if you get the right size and everything, this is the right deal. But what I will say is, I would have been disappointed in the Apple one, I think, unless it felt really like different quality than this, I think. I think. No, close up.
Can we like?
See, I have the ZV1, so I'm getting good. I'm getting good autofocus. I can't really see yours. Greg's
My face, I think.
Yeah. So I'm going to take this off and put my magnetic band back on, and I maybe might order the knockoff right size. I don't know why they sent me the wrong size. I'm positive I ordered the right size, but I'm not as impressed and as desirous of it as I wanted to. And by the way, if I could have gone into an Apple store and actually see, okay, yeah, I see it, and seen this in person, I would have known my answer to this a long time ago. But you can't. You just can't. So.
Can you show me the connectors on it?
Yeah, I'm going to take it out right now.
Take it off, show me the connectors, because that's one of the things I like about this one, is it's just like the fabric going in, and there's not like a plastic connector.
No, this is not a plastic connector.
Okay.
And by the way, I bought a different listing than yours, because the listing you had didn't have my color and size in the right time, and I found another listing, but obviously, I guess they didn't have the right size either, even though I thought they did. This is a live GadgetCast review of a knockoff loop band braided loop thing. Man, this thing is hard to get out. That's what she said. Let me see if I can get this off to the side. All right. It's still not working. This is not bad for the YouTube audience, but for the audio listening audience, I'm sure they're
gone. They're already tuning in for the Super Show next week.
Yeah,
they gave up.
By the way, you should be subscribed to both of our channels in order to make sure you're there. You can go to youtube.com/GadgetCast to subscribe to the GadgetCast show, and then come and join us next Sunday, same time, 2 p.m. Pacific and 5 p.m. Eastern, and then beyond that,
should we try and get the? No, never mind. That's a bad idea. We need to do just a regular GadgetCast show. I was going to try and get the original GadgetCast guys to come on. But.
That would be interesting just for the Supercast. There's something interesting there, but we've been trying to get them on for a while. I cannot get this other side out. All right, look, this is what it looks like. It's got like a metal.
No, yeah, mine's different. So I think that's one of the big differences. Hold on.
I still can't get it off the other side, but that's because I have this case on it, and the case is shiny blue. Look at that blue shiny blue case. I like it because I wanted a blue watch without buying a new blue watch.
So you did the smart thing and just got a case rather than just buying a new.
Exactly. I bought a $10 case instead of a $500 watch.
That's the move.
That's the real move right there. Insert thinking GIF. Why can I not get this other side out? And it might be permanent. It might be a permanent. You put it in and never comes out.
I told you to save this for the end. I said something could go wrong, and I feel like multiple things have gone wrong. So,
but that's a good thing for the show,
right?
I think it's entertaining. Actually, I can't wait to do all these videos I'm going to do for my YouTube channel. I hope that you will all join me for that.
Thank you for the Apple Watch unboxing, Travis. Let's get to what the audience really wants to hear. Let's talk about this Cyberpunk controversy.
Oh, yes.
Let's talk about how right I was. You're not willing to admit it. You're very prideful. You won't admit when you're wrong, but I feel like I called that one 1,000%. Have you ever seen a game launch like this and from what I can tell, the game is good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people like it, especially the people who are playing on PC, who aren't running into as many issues, or who can overlook the issues if they have a high performance rig and it's running well. And even the people who are playing it on PS5 and Series X seem to be having still a pretty good time with it. Mm-hmm. I have never seen a game, or I've never seen a game launch and then get pulled from the store.
Yeah.
Do you think that was, for people who don't know, Cyberpunk, it's a game really hyped up. It's been in development for years, like a really long time. And it finally came out it was really hyped. Like, people were anticipating this game for a long time.
One of the biggest launches of all time is what they're saying.
And it came out, Ton of bugs. It barely ran on the systems they advertised it for. Like if you had like a regular PS4 or a regular Xbox One, like the game was basically like just not performing. Like it would run at like 15 frames per second. If you know anything about video games, you know that's like stuttery, laggy, like almost unplayable at that point. And that's what
That's
they
not
were.
even bugs, like the bugs themselves that would
There's
break.
also, bugs that would break the game. Like you would like spawn, like, and then just die over and over again. Like really awful things in a bunch of different ways. To the point where Sony, I'm guessing, was the ultimate one where like, we got to pull this from the store. Like there's too many complaints, I'm guessing. Like, I don't think Cyberpunk was like, we need to pull this from the store, because they didn't pull it on Xbox. But they did pull it from PlayStation. So I think that was a Sony decision going, this is not up to our quality for standard of game we can sell on our store. Because obviously you could still go get physical copy of a PS5 or PS4 version of this game, I'm guessing. And they're offering full refunds on Xbox, on PlayStation. Like getting a full refund on a game, it's almost like unprecedented. Like good luck trying to get a refund on a game digitally or a game you open. But with Cyberpunk, like they are just like fully going, you want your money back? You can take it back. This game probably costs like a ton of money to make. I have no idea what the financial situation is with them having to refund all these purchases.
Mm-hmm.
It cannot be good for that studio. Like it just can, like, they're not like a giant studio. It just must be devastating for those developers. And I actually feel really bad for the people who worked on this game.
Yep.
But you know, a lot of like the decision to like, because they delayed this game. Like that was like a big story. Like this was supposed to come out earlier. They delayed it to supposedly fix all this stuff. And I think ultimately, if you got the developers on here and you said, should we delay this game even further? They would have probably said, yes, it's not ready. But at the end of the day, you have to make money. Like this has been in development for a long time. And I think like the higher ups were like, we got to release this. Oh, it's few, fix it eventually. And I think that was a costly mistake.
So there's a lot of aspects. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos on it and what has happened with the developers and stuff like that. So they put all of their money and time and everything into the PC version. So people that have the PC version are not seeing the same issue. I mean, they're seeing bugs. There are bugs there, but they're not seeing the same experience that is causing all this controversy. And you got to remember, console games sell tremendous amounts of content. So tremendous amounts of products. So there are people, again, if you're playing on PC, you're probably not seeing as many problems. If you're playing on console, you are. And really, if you're playing on base consoles more specifically. Yeah. And what has happened is, and it's none of this surprises me, because as soon as I heard this was going on, I'm like, I bet this, and this happened. And it's exactly what happened. So one thing I did not know is that they just straight up lied at certain points. They said in January, the game was done. Now, I guess what they would consider done and what most people would consider done are just two wildly different things. I think when someone thinks it's done, it's like, I can play it. Well, maybe what they were saying in some kind of slick way was that the story and stuff is done, but it's not done. And they delayed it a couple more times. The management of the company basically admitted that they had put all their eggs in the PC basket. They did some really slimy stuff when they let people review the game. They only let people review the PC version of the game. They didn't let anyone see the console versions of the game until the game came out. So people could not make a purchasing decision based on reality. They just, they just hid it. They hid it. They specifically hid it. So for them to say that they were surprised and kind of taken aback by all the negative feedback is disingenuous. Otherwise, you wouldn't have hid it. You would have thought it was fine. The CEO, before the game came out, said it went surprisingly well on the PlayStation and Xbox based consoles, which is not true. All you got to do is go to Digital Foundry and they will break it down for you 6 ways of Sunday. And it's crazy because, you don't normally get money back for a digital version of a game. You don't normally get that. You just have to wait for a patch and hope for the best. That's not what's going on. They lost a tremendous amount of money in stocks. That company lost. I don't even want to. I want to say it's $1 billion, but I don't know. It was a lot of money over in stocks because of this, because they rushed it and they admitted it. The management rushed it. Now, here's the thing. The developers, people who actually made the game, knew it was a problem, had been signaling to management it was a problem. And of course, now they're the ones that are going to have to work many, 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 many hours to fix it quickly because you know they're going to be pressured to fix it quickly. They were already in a crunch. They were pushed to multiple like 100-hour work weeks, which is called crunch. And it's terrible that now their game that they worked a long time on and knew that it wasn't ready is getting absolutely smashed. And these things that have never been done in the industry are being done, or refunds are being given, and stock is being dropped, and like just insane things. Now, for me personally, I wasn't going to play the game until the Xbox Series X patch came out anyway. So I haven't bought it or anything. It's, and I could play it now and it will work fine on that console. It actually works fine on the next gen consoles, but it's supposed to be kind of this in-between gen game where it should work on both. And it kind of doesn't. It works fine on Pro and Xbox One X, and works fine, really good on the next gen consoles with still bugs, having said that. But on the base consoles where the most established player base is, it's trash. And it's unfortunate trash. And I feel really bad for the developers who put in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours and are getting thrown under the bus by the owners, which is terrible.
Yeah, it's a bad situation all around for developers, for players who like bought it on like those base systems expecting it to run well. This is a really unique issue to this last generation and now current generation of systems where like usually it was like, hey, you get a PS2 for 6 years and that's it. This generation had a mid-cycle upgrade, which was pretty unique. PS4 Pro, Xbox Series, or what was it? Xbox
One X.
Well, Xbox One X, yeah. So you had like these mid-cycle upgrades that put a lot more power into these systems to do like 4K gaming. And towards the end of this console generation, forget Cyberpunk, just a lot of games did not look as good on those base systems or run as well as they did on the more expensive versions. And now we're at this point where a lot of people are developing for PS4 and Xbox One, but they're also they're also shipping better versions on PS5 and Xbox Series X. So it's just a weird situation all around for this generation. It's becoming so much more PC-like to the point where if you got a console before, if you bought a game for it, you expected it to run. Like you expected it not really to face that many issues. We're getting into this weird territory where like you get a console game and it's very PC-like. Like you could have like a different version of the game, especially with Xbox now, right? They have the Series S and the Series X, and you could play, depending on which system you have, you could get quite a different experience. So it's going to be interesting to see if we face other issues like this with different developers going in to this console generation. It's so expensive to like, I don't think people realize how much expense it is to like make a game. And the bigger budgets they get, the more ambitious they get, the higher they target the graphics, everything, the more development cost goes into that, which is why a lot of like these like mid-sized studios are being like bought out by like just big corporations like EA. And I feel like it's only going to get worse at this point. And also with games shipping in like buggy states, I just feel like that's like what we live in now. Like you get the game the first month and there's going to be bugs.
Yeah, it's not something we should accept, I don't think. But we've kind of learned to accept first day patches where patches are like the patch that came out for Cyberpunk this past week on the consoles was 14 gigs. That's insane. That's an insane patch size, and it's not all the fixes.
And listen, I hate to say it because like this is like an argument that people liked about like the Xbox, and they're like, "Oh, it's going to support the old generation for 2 more years." Microsoft, you gotta just be like, forget it. No,
forget it.
We're just going full steam ahead with the next gen consoles because honestly, you might be able to do that on the Series X or Xbox One X. You might be able to do it on that one, but on like the base Xbox One, like that has to go. It is really old in terms of like the new technology we have. And if you're expecting like that new Halo game that they had to push back, if you're expecting that to run well on those base systems, I really feel like you're also going to be in for a pretty bad experience if they're still planning on shipping that for those systems. So I say I say full steam ahead on next generation.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I'd like to see more next gen stuff. I mean, that's why I bought the darn thing. I would like to see more stuff. That'd be great. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, this was a bad thing for people who don't have permission to say yay or nay. They're told one way or the other what's going to happen. I hate that.
Yeah. You know what's funny though? I have seen some of the bugs from Cyberpunk, and I kind of want to play the game more. Like I saw a video like a guy just like walked out and a car is like flying overhead and it like lands by him. I kind of thought like that was like fun. I'm like, maybe I should get in on this now. Like I need something to play on my Xbox. I can't buy it on PlayStation. I should get in on this now. I kind of want to experience it with all the bugs in there because that in its own way is kind of fun when you find something like really funny that happens.
Totally. Let us know what you think. Leave us an email or a voicemail. Of course, all the links are in the show notes and, of course, in the description of the YouTube live stream. Now, next week, again, Super Stream. Supercast.
Listen, next week, we plan to have a lot more people joining us on the live stream in particular, right? Because it's a YouTube audience, so we're going to be live streaming on the channels. Mm-hmm. So if you are a GadgetCast OG, okay, you better be here. We're going to recognize all the people who are here with us every week, like 504 and Genosis and 619 WWE fan and all the rest. See, I remember names. I'm just going to scroll up and read the rest now. He's always with us.
McCord and Will from all those guys. Yeah.
Ethnic,
and all those guys and gals. We're really excited about that.
He's always with us.
We don't know what to expect. That's what makes it so interesting because we really don't know
everyone.
Because we're going to have comments from all three channels coming in at the same time, which should be very excited about.
It could be a career ender, so we're going to see.
It could be the end of the Gadget Cast.
It could be the end.
Could be it. So if you want to see the potential end of Gadget Cast, make sure you're here on the 27th.
If we ever end Gadget Cast, we need to like retire the name to the original owners again. Be like,
get it back to them.
Yours.
We've made it better for you. Go ahead. We came and made it better for you. And
give them the channel and everything. I would tune in every week if they like did a show too. I'd be like,
if they change it back.
If we gave them the Gadget Cast YouTube channel, and like you just have to do the show every week. I'd be a listener. I don't know why. I'd be like, I'm in.
Show up in chat. Why not? So that stream is next week. It should be legit. It doesn't matter which channel you watch it on. We probably want more people in the GadgetCast channel, but I mean, we're just
on my channel.
He wants the watch time.
I can watch it on the GadgetCast channel. I'm literally going to tell people in that live stream, like, yeah, you're on my channel. Go to the GadgetCast channel. Forget this channel. What are you doing here?
Yeah. That's all I'm going to do too. I'm really excited about it. It'll be the day after my birthday live stream. So make sure you check that out too. Come hit me up on my live stream on Saturday. Lots of live streaming next weekend. And we're super excited to have you to be a part of the GadgetCast family.
It's true.
So I think
family.
We only need family for this time of year. Give me some presents and go away. For everyone else, we're going to do the aftercast for just a couple of minutes here. If you're listening on audio, you know what to do. Subscribe on all the different platforms. Subscribe on. We'll see you on the Supercast next week. Peace and love. Peace and love. And that ends another GadgetCast. Boom.
Let me ask you something, creator to creator. Do you find that the December, like the tail end of the December month is slow for like viewership?
So I will talk to you about this. Interestingly, what I had noticed in 2018, I noticed this, and it had been true every year, with this year being a complete unknown because of COVID, right? What happened was, depending on what niche you're in, it goes up, and then right around Christmas, it's either kind of does this thing and it kind of goes down. And then for some reason on the 31st / January 1st, a lot of channels get this huge spike. I actually got one year. I was like, whoa, what's going on? But I had known about this before because I watched Everyday Dad's thing do the same thing the year previous. So what'll be interesting is, will the 31st / January 1st spike happen this year? I don't know. But yes, right now it's everything's been lower. Live stream attendance has been lower. My videos have been lower. I mean, that's why I'm going to be a little bit more creative on these next couple of videos, because I assume no matter what I do, it's not going to blow up. Plus, so I figured, what the heck? Let's have some fun.
I had a good video yesterday that's carrying me through today, but there was like a couple days where like it was like my lowest views I have seen in quite a long time.
Yeah.
But you know, I was looking like you know, like they're talking on the news, especially because like COVID and stuff like that. But like people are just like, you know, I mean, it's holiday season. People got to shop for gifts, I guess. But people are just like, things are just as packed as they've ever been. Like,
Yeah.
I'm scared of it, but like people apparently like no fear. Like they're like, I'm getting that gift, and it's like I see it like on the news, and it's like, you know, it's like it's just another December. Like it's really strange. I really didn't think it would be that way. I guess a lot of people are just like fatigued from staying inside all long, looking forward to the holidays and stuff like that. But yeah. I've noticed the views go down like last year, but I was kind of surprised to see them go down again this year. I was like,
I think it's just a seasonal thing. And yeah, I'm really scared of January, which is why I have my other channel now, because January last year put me into a damn near a depression. And I'm going to talk about that in my end of year video. It actually almost made me quit YouTube altogether. So that's why I'm actually going to try to concentrate more on my other channels.
Andrew Illingworth says, is it because people go to the gym in January? No. They do that for like a week, and then it's like, all right.
So now people want to know how the AirPods Max for this long, and do you think you're still not comfortable for the podcast?
You know, I got into them, so it was a little freaky at first. You know, I was in noise cancellation mode. Okay, transparency is still weird, but I got sucked into the noise cancellation, so it's not as bad as I thought. Comfortable, yeah. I don't know. Did you see me adjusting the headphones a bunch? Like they're pretty comfortable the whole time. No problems. I will say though, Q10s more comfortable. So another win for the Q10s. They are extremely lightweight. So
yeah, that helps. I mean, a lot of plastic and stuff too. A little bit of metal here. I think, is that metal or plastic? I don't know. Anyway, it's the official GadgetCast headphones because it has our logos on the side.
Like I really do like the AirPods Max, but again, I'll say it, like those Q10s, man, you're never gonna find a better value.
Dollar per dollar, yeah. The only thing that would be any better is the next version of them will be the only thing that'll be better for this price. It's crazy. It's crazy how good they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Jim, glad to be back in a routine sort of though. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I didn't know you have other channels besides the one I follow. Yeah, there's another one that's kind of it's a more personality channel, so I don't really promote it very much at all because I don't want the same viewership. It's comedy based. Let's see. Yeah, Q11. So we need to reach out to Soundcore and ask them. Oh, they sent me that escape thing. Did you get that escape thing with the guitar?
I didn't.
Oh, they don't like you. They canceled.
I'm on Soundcore's naughty list. No, it's weird because they said, "Can you like?" They're like, "Oh, would you mind sharing this thing?" And I did.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I didn't get any. Like I saw you get. I'm like, how come I didn't get a cool little guitar thing?
Well, I just want to be involved with the Q11s or whatever they're going to be called the next time.
Same. I want to. I love Soundcore. I don't know. Maybe it's like an oversight, or maybe I honestly have like, I think I do have some packages, and it's just like that crazy time of year. Maybe I do have them, and I didn't open them. That would be bad.
Okay.
I slander them. I should check.
You should stop slandering them.
No, I love Soundcore. Soundcore is awesome.
Yes, 504. Yes. Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know. I want to be involved with certain companies next year, I think, and I really like Soundcore a lot. They've just been super cool. Quite frankly, like, who would have done this for us? Who would have done that for us? The headphones.
Yeah.
Nobody. What tag gadgets are you gifting for Christmas?
I don't think I could say. So sorry.
Oh, because people are in the
watch stream that I know, so I can't really say.
Oh, yeah. Greg's family watches the stream.
No,
a lot of them do, and I'm their favorite person, which is great. I think that's fantastic.
Good.
That makes me so happy. Every time he tells me that, I get giddy. What should we do next week, everybody, for the Supercast? What kind of cool things should we do? We should do a contest of some sort, but I don't know.
Roast Luke Miani for the whole hour.
For sure. We should definitely do that.
A roast of Luke Miani.
The roast of Luke. Actually, we should do tech roast. That'd be kind of fun. That'd be
Tech
funny.
roast. That's a channel. It's like
Tech
rant.
roast.
Tech roast.
Oh my god, and I could totally do it too because I have the other character. Oh my gosh, tech roast. That would be.
It's like Tech Smart, but without all the scams.
The thing is then the question is, do you talk to the creator ahead of time, or do you just straight up do it?
Nah, just do it.
It's gonna be the most hated channel on.
Speaking of beefs with content creators, I deleted this tweet because I actually was like, yeah, you know what, I don't want to be the drama guy, but I'll be dramaticus here. Is that a word? Listen, Lou, storied past with the show. He did his usual thing with like the AirPods Max, like $550 headphones. No one should spend their money for $550. Like, what are we doing here? But like, he literally reviewed headphones that were like $3,600 like a week ago, and he didn't say like anything about like these are ridiculously priced. So I don't know. I feel like if I gave Travis a $3,600 pair of headphones, even if he really liked them, I'm pretty sure his review would end, these are really expensive. You probably shouldn't get them.
I mean, I did it with the Dolby Dimensions.
Yeah, like I feel like Travis is really consistent, but then I feel like other people, they see a little logo there and then they lose their consistency. Yeah. And I don't like that. I'm like, come on, be intellectually honest with us. If you're not gonna say about a $3,700 pair of headphones, how can you say it about like these headphones are expensive in the grand scheme of things you will spend money on in your lifetime? A drop in the bucket compared to some other things. Like it is not like consumerism gone crazy. Like people will spend more money on a pair of shoes than these headphones, and that might be even more ridiculous. I've spoken.
That's fair point. You have spoken.
Fair point. People will spend more money at a restaurant in a month once COVID's over. I know I will.
That's very
$1,000.
Just dropping cash. There's a place that Mr. Beast went to in New York. I want to go. They have a tomahawk steak that's $1,000. It's gold wrapped tomahawk steak, and I would actually go there and do that. So if it ever comes to the point where I ever find myself back on the East Coast near you, we'll do that sort of stuff. We'll do the Gadgetcast on the road.
No, I looked. Did you see the Mr. Beast like food thing that happened? He launched he launched like 300 restaurants across the US, but it's like other restaurants making the food for people. But like on like the thread, and like someone got like a raw chicken sandwich. I'm laughing so hard. I don't know why. I just found it so funny that someone got like a raw chicken sandwich.
That's funny.
Listen, Mr. Beast probably a great person. Like, like he made this, but like he's not cooking the food himself.
Right.
There's like someone like complaining like, oh, I got a raw chicken sandwich. And then like people have such a hard time separating the person from like the product.
Yeah.
And there's just people like defending Mr. Beast going like, oh, it's only the first day. Give him a break. It's like, yo, this person got a raw chicken sandwich. Like you can't be like, oh, it's just the first day. They'll work it out. It's okay that you got a raw chicken sandwich.
That's hilarious. Sonny's still here. Oh yeah. So I was going to say, okay, so there was a question about rumored mini OLED, whatever. And I was like, well, Sonny's here. He could probably tell us. And he goes, next iPad is going to be amazing. So there you go. Whatever Sonny says is what you should. Sonny is here. All you got to do is ask Sonny about those questions. We don't know anything more than Sonny does. Sonny knows everything.
Travis, look into your crystal ball. They call it the AirPods Max. Now there's AirPods and AirPods Pro. Will there be an AirPods Pro Max?
These are the AirPods Pro Max. The other ones that are coming out, the less expensive ones. So they won't be Pro or Max.
You don't think there'll be a more expensive one above this? Like you don't think these will ever get a Pro?
Well, here's the thing. If these sell as well as
or is this like an iPad situation? Like these came out first, but then these will like the cheaper ones will come out and be called AirPods Max, and then these will be called AirPods. Like they'll do a rename. They
could, but I mean, the fact that they're selling these, and we don't know how many they've sold, but if they're selling them really well, then there could be a Pro Max for sure, and they'll just add something else to it. I mean, all the things that they didn't put on this one, like the touch controls, like all the things this was going to be.
They that Apple TV out that supports the spatial audio.
All the things that this thing was supposed to have, really, is what it is. $1,000 Pro Max. I mean, listen, anything's possible, Sonny. Don't give them ideas, man. What are you doing? Stop it.
I literally think Apple did like a bunch of interviews around these headphones, and I think they said like they were originally designing like $1,000 pair of headphones, and then they decided not to. Like they were going to go like really high end, and then they decided not to.
Oh. They still would have sold them. That's what's crazy about Apple. They can sell it. Now the other thing is, I think I talked about this last week. This is the last little rant for Aftercast. I hate whenever someone goes, well, they must be selling well, they're sold out. That doesn't mean anything. You don't know how many they made. You don't know. You don't know if they, I mean, when I woke up early that morning, they released, all the colors were back to March. And I woke up at like 8 or 9 a.m. Pacific time. I don't know what time they came out. But I'm suspecting that the colors were sold fastest because they didn't make as many of them as the black or silver, the safer colors to make, because that's just how things are done. I worked at a corporation for 7 years, that a multi-billion-dollar company that sells hundreds of thousands of tablets a year, and they have multiple colors, but they make the most of black because they know everyone's going to buy the black one. So to say that it's sold out is some type of vindication. This happened to me when I did that Google Pixel video. And I'm like, it's not going to sell well. Well, they're number one selling on Amazon. They're always number one selling on Amazon. Amazon doesn't sell that many Apple smartphones. They sell a lot comparatively to like Best Buy or Walmart. No. So when you're number one on the unlocked phone list on Amazon, that's nice, but that's not going to get you in the top 10 sell phones of the entire world. It's not going to. It's not even going to give you the top 10 sold in America. So when people say, oh, they sold out, that doesn't mean anything. I have one of these right now that doesn't fit my wrist. I'm going to sell this. If anyone wants to buy it, I will be sold out of it. Greg, if you want to buy this, I want to sell out so I can go on Twitter and say I sold this out.
Yes. I will say though, you're 100% right. But usually, going off history, Apple does have a really good supply chain. Who knows what that is this year, right? Like everything's crazy. These came out at the last possible second, which is also pretty strange. So maybe they just had a few units they wanted to ship out before the end of the year. Totally. Travis is probably right on that front. But
I'm not saying they didn't sell a lot, whatever that means. I'm not saying that, but still.
I would say based on how far they're pushed back, like March, I would say they sold more than they thought they would.
I don't think that has anything to do with it, because Chinese New Year starts in like January and you can't get stuff out before that anyway. So anything they sold here wasn't going to happen until March anyway. It has nothing to do with them selling out. You cannot get products into America from China that need to be built, which need a front line, which need 6 to 8 weeks. Chinese New Year comes in January. Hopefully no more COVID. And you're not getting stuff to March anyway. That's any company. If any company sells out of stuff, you're not getting nothing from them until March. So that's the way this comes from me. I know this because, again, I worked at a company where we had to deal with Chinese New Year every single year. So, you know.
Travis is smart. All right.
I'm smart.
You got me.
Let me stop before I say something dumb. Let's get out of here while I'm still smart. I'm so smart right now. I don't want to say anything dumb. Let me get out of here. Let's get out of here.
Last guess.
Drop the mic. No supercast next week. No, supercast is next week. So make sure you're all here. We appreciate you greatly.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. And download the audio podcast too. Why not?
Do a second listen. I think the second listen is always better than the first one. So
yeah, why not? All right, everyone. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Peace and love. Thank you so much. Later.